just by virtue of being part of our sorority, we're community-based, and we felt that it needed to be something in this community, and this was our way of giving to the community.
The organization made the commitment to be green, and we just got greener and greener and greener.
And the question was, well, what kind of green building should it be? About the time that we really started the work on the design of the project, that was about the time that the Living Building Challenge was issued as a sustainability protocol. To give you a sense of what the Living Building Challenge is all about, they want buildings that perform essentially like a plant, where it gets everything it needs from the site that it's on and benefits the area around it by its presence. The idea for the concept of the project is that there are going to be some rough parts and then some smooth parts. Like the glass is very smooth, new looking. In contrast to the glass, the containers that are kind of rough, they're kind of beat up a little bit, they're industrial.
Everybody thinks it's the coolest thing in the whole world. That's why we left the hardware on there, so people could really understand how cool that was.
They've been cut down, reshaped somewhat, just made to look very attractive. If you didn't know this was a container, you wouldn't probably pay that much attention to it. We were hoping that if people in the community saw how we use these cargo containers, then other people would get an idea to use them.
There were these roadblocks that kept coming up, and somehow as a team we kind of managed to figure out how to get through those. And usually it had to do with somebody coming from some unknown place or some place that we could never have foreseen it and lending a hand. One of the friends of the project was having lunch with an envelope consultant that was working on a library for the University of Washington. And in that conversation, the envelope consultant mentioned that he had to reject all this glass. The glass was all free, essentially. The Deltas had to pay in order to get it transported here from Seattle. One of the things about the glass is it's extremely high performance. Obviously it was meant to reduce heat gain into a library. And one other thing that is also helping are these overhangs that we kept around the perimeter of the building. And those shade the upper portion of the glass. And that is most effective, particularly on the west face in the summer when the sun is high. It shades a good portion, about half of the window. The Deltas wanted a big window in the kitchen so that they could look at the park. And working with the size of the glass, which is what was sort of given, and given the height of the glass when you do it horizontally and the height of the container, we had to actually rotate that glass out a little bit so that it would fit.
Community is just elated over this building. I mean, they have taken ownership of this building. I think with our 5-point thrush program, we've been able to allow the community to come in and use this facility under different items like our physical and mental health, our political awareness, our educational component program, our international awareness, and economic development.
And the City Parks and Rec Department to establish an appropriate site, which is over at Peninsula Park, and to help with pushing things forward.
We're a small group of black women, minority women, and for us to be able to pull this off has been amazing.
It's the little guy doing something really significant.
One thing I'll say about the Deltas is that they're pretty fearless about taking this thing on without any previous experience in developing a building, but they jumped in with both feet first. And I have to say that, from people who just thought that there was an idea of green, that now they can actually be out there in the community advocating and educating as they go.
We had a group of women that just would not give up and gave all their time. Instead of taking a cruise or taking our little retirement, we wrote checks, we fundraised, and we were here guiding this whole process.